machines out. All of you know that I brought the Sharin in. I thought that was, it is good and it worked for a lot of people. It didn't work as much for me, but a lot of people had a lot of really good results with it. And Andrea, who's always in the forefront of everything wonderful and healing, in the middle of my move, she said, you got to check this out. It's amazing. I'm like, oh, enough with the machines. She's like, no, you got to check it out. And I was still like, and Sue can attest to it, and Deb, I'm like, I don't even want to know about another machine. And so finally, I was having not such a great day. And I called her up and I'm like, so show me what you got with your Healy. And she showed me what she got. I felt a shift and I'm like, wow, this is interesting. And I continued to run over there for 3 hours a day, which is not my style because it felt so good. And I broke the clip on the Healy because I was walking around. I mean, I really love this Healy. And I felt a lot of shifts with it. And then I received my Healy, and it is a learning process. And it has so much to offer, which we'll go into. And because of my experience with it, and because of my friendship with Deb and Andrea and their authenticity and integrity, we decided to kind of all come together. And I guess what I want to say is that it does work. You need knowledge to get it to work right. Like today, I learned something from Deb that shifted the way I was feeling that I didn't know about. And the situation with the Healy is that I'm getting a lot of calls from people that have Healys or the people that they bought them from. So this Healy is a conscious community, and the people that you sign up with are responsible for teaching you how to use it in a conscious way. And so I'm getting calls from people, can you help me, can you do it? And frankly, it is extremely time consuming. So we're building our Healy community because we want a community. It's all about community, and because we care if we're going to be putting this out there. So that's why basically Deb and I are teaming up. Deb does all the, she's amazing with the back office. Andrea is our mentor, and seeing a lot of shifts. So I'm going to turn it over first to Andrea. You're the one who introduced us.
And Barb, can Anais mute her computer, please?
Oh, guys, yeah, could you, Mabel?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me just, some other people are coming on.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Ann.
I'm sorry if I said your name
Hi,
wrong.
Naz.
I don't know how to say it. Sorry.
Hi, Mabel.
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
I'm good. I just started off with saying that through all of the machines and everything I've done, I have found this to be easy, effective, healing, and it's like your own personal device. It's super cool, but there is a learning curve. Okay.
So I came to it, you know, most of you know I've been in vibrational medicine for 30 years. And over the years, I've looked at new machines that have come along the way. There's been many of them, all in the vein of quantum physics. And none of them I felt were up to snuff. They weren't doing enough for me or more than I could already do. And when I got wind of this, I was skeptical at first. I always approach with a healthy dose of skepticism. But after I did a deep dive into it, I thought, wow, there's really something going on here. So this is a device that has a long history. It's been its parent device. You will hear reference to the Time Waver. The Time Waver is a big desktop 20,000 euro machine in the clinics of Europe, Australia, and Asia for about 15 years. So it's been around a long time. And technology coming along as it has been. A couple of years ago, they found out how to take the technology from that big machine into what is this Healy. And that's the size of the Healy. It's half the size of a cell phone. So I started to really study it, I mean, really deeply, and I discovered that May 1st, the FDA approved the Healy in the United States. That's why we haven't heard of it before, because it wasn't allowed here yet. So they got approval, and they got approval as a Class 2 medical device for arthritis and muscle soreness and anxiety and depression and sleep issues, and more. So that's pretty amazing. So as a result of that, I'm going to say to you, we need to be sure that we are FDA compliant in our language. So we don't talk about illness and that it can cure an illness. We don't talk about cure. We can talk about symptoms. You know, I have joint pain, and then what the Healy has done, or I have sleep issues, or that kind of thing. I have a headache, but no diagnoses do we talk about, because that is not being FDA compliant. And that's really important, that so we can keep the Healy in this country. You know, in Europe, they have more freedom to talk about things. So that's why the Zooms and the YouTubes and everything that you see coming out of Bali and Australia and all over Europe, they talk very freely about testimonials and what this has done, because they can. So that's number one. What this is, in my thinking, you know the term, many of you know nutraceuticals. You know, once vitamins became more in the realm of the functional medicine doctors, and we started to hear about vitamins becoming nutraceuticals, how they would heal with nutrition. And now I'm telling you, we have electroceuticals. So this is technology working with microcurrent and frequency, working with your energy field. So in each one of these little Healy devices, there is a quantum sensor. And the quantum sensor means that there is no hit or miss with this, which I love. So the quantum sensor is finding the right Healy frequency programs for you. So your body will only take in what it wants. If there's a frequency there it doesn't want, it's not going to take it in. So the Healy measures your individual frequency via this quantum sensor, and then delivers the frequency back to you, customized and specific to what your cellular, emotional energy centers want. I mean, this is quantum physics. This is really out there, but this really works. So what we'd like to do is show you a quick 3-minute video so you can just get a visual of what this is all about. And then we can talk about our experiences, Deb, Barbara, and me, what we've experienced with it personally, because there's lots of testimonials out there, and you can go on Facebook and plug in Healy and see all the testimonials, and we can hook you up to the different places to look, but there's nothing like personal experiences. Now, that being said, I just want to say to you that since this came into the country May 1st, it was launched in COVID. And Germany had thousands and thousands and thousands of devices and no planes to ship them. So Deb and I were doing our deep dive into Healy without a Healy. So we were depending upon the Zooms, we were doing classes basically online and researching this without ever having Healy in hand. So we already knew what it could do without experiencing it ourselves. Just recently, finally, Germany released, and now instead of waiting a couple of months for Healy, now it's a matter of a couple of weeks or less, and the Healys are all being shipped on time, which is a wonderful thing, finally. So, shall I share my screen now?
Yes.
Guys? Okay, let me see if I can do that properly. And, no, you don't want to see that screen. You want to see that.
Good girl.
Nope, that's not the one. That's my PowerPoint. You want to see, just a minute, because we're buffering. You want to see that. Okay, you ready, guys? 3 minutes.
Healy, the wearable for your well-being, holistic health, and fitness. Well-being, vitality, as well as physical and mental health are among the most important things we possess. In order to support you in all these ways, we have developed Healy. Healy is a wearable device. Healy applies a range of frequencies and subtle currents that stimulate cell function using electrodes. Healy contains 144,000 different frequencies, which have specific effects on humans. These gold frequencies were developed in collaboration with Nuno Nina, a Portuguese practitioner and researcher who has used them to treat thousands of patients in his international clinics for over 20 years. Based on these gold frequencies, Healy contains more than 100 special sequence programs to support you energetically in many areas of life. These programs are called systemic programs in the Healy app and are labeled with the abbreviation SYST. The centerpiece of Healy is the quantum sensor that individually selects the gold frequencies that are best suited for your needs. The systemic programs are always the first choice for almost any area of application, as they focus on balancing the cause of a condition. This is why these programs are not applied locally, but in most cases in a holistic way. The frequencies are designed to energetically affect the entire system in an integrated way via the upper body and its organs, glands, and the nervous system. These programs can have a duration of 45 minutes. Their goal is to stimulate and balance you at deeper levels. So take enough time and rest when you use the Healy. Your well-being should be worth it. If you need quick help, Healy has a lot of programs for this too. In cases of acute stress or energetic problems, you can use the acute programs. To summarize, you should first apply the systemic programs. If necessary, you can complement these with the acute or local programs. The Healy frequency programs should perceivably help you after 20 minutes, whether applied at home, at work, during leisure time, during sports, or on the go. Using Healy regularly will let you experience its full potential. We hope that you are going to enjoy your Healy and experience increased well-being and vitality.
She's good.
Okay, let me get out screen sharing.
Oops.
See if I can figure that out.
33.
Okay, I clicked everything. Oh,
Here,
stop share. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
I want to say in that video, you saw that sometimes the electrodes were just a pad on the skin. So for example, if you have knee pain, you can put the electrodes on either side of your knee pain. But most of the time we're using them with these bracelets, these electrodes. And it's very easy to do anything, be it the computer, walk outside, wash dishes, whatever. It allows you to move very easily. So guys, you want to say anything?
I think I started off the call saying I was reluctant. There's 1,000 million devices out there. And the fact that this was FDA approved shows that the system is working. The fact that this has been used so effectively in Europe and Asia and people are loving it is a wonderful endorsement. And then the final thing was that, again, I was so reluctant. I went over to Andrea's. I was not feeling great. I think I was having a little detox issue. She ran me on the gold cycle, which is the cycle you run when you first get it. And it's just easy. I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to be tied down. So I could go about my day with this.
You know this about
I
Barbara.
mean, they know this about me and it really, really worked. So,
It was pretty hilarious those first few days because Barbara would come over, I would hook her up, and then once you transfer, the Healy is an app that you take to your cell phone. And then once it transmits to the Healy, the cell phone is turned off. So now Barbara could go anywhere because now it was in the Healy. And so she was out and about. Her timer said, oh, in 50 minutes, she's got to come back. She came right back for her next dose. It was hilarious.
So it's that easy where you kind of, you click it on your phone, it connects to the machine. There are tons of programs and off you go. And so it's very, very user-friendly and it works. And when I say it works, again, you have to learn. I was taught by Andrea and Deb, and now I'm learning, but there's so much to learn about it. And there's so many functions that it uses, from Bach flower remedies to homeopathic
Those
to,
are a lot of homeopathic remedies.
and the
but
cool thing, can you say what you did to me today? So today I wanted to just have a little more energy. I woke up at 4 in the morning, and what I learned from Deb was this.
Well, with the Renaissance edition,
Residents.
edition, you are able to scan in real time your frequency vibration, and it will share with you what frequencies are the most important in that moment that need to be addressed. And when I did, I did several homeopathic remedies on Barbara, and one of them was the Bach flower remedies. Another one was I Ching. I think we did the minerals.
We did
amino acids.
amino acids. I never knew selenium was an amino acid, actually, which was fascinating. But so you hold it, you put your thumb on it. This is the second program of the resonance, and it comes up what you need. I think that it's incredible.
And the therapy is that you're getting the frequencies by remote transmission. There's so many ways that the Healy can work, where you're getting it either with the microcurrent transmission, which is putting the wires directly to your meridian parts that are being told, here you want to stick it in these sensitive areas, and then you're getting the frequencies directly to your body. Or you can do the remote healing frequencies, which now you're getting the way Barbara was getting them today. Then there's another way where you can have the Healy and have it sit by your water, your glass of water, and actually be able to add these frequencies to your water and drink the water.
Kind of like moto. It's the
Yes.
vibration of whatever it is you're drinking. So the applications are endless. It's kind of fun because you're always learning, but the coolest thing is you're treating yourself. It's very empowering.
Right.
And that to me
You're
is
taking
very
control.
important, especially now, because the other thing they have is they have bioenergetic support. They have EMF support. It's actually a very spiritual company, and it's a mind, body, soul instrument. And that's frequencies, that's the time that we're moving into even more, and that's the support that we need. We don't just need support for the body, we need support for our everything, our whole, the mind, body, soul. So this is it, and actually it's reasonable for what it does. It's very reasonable. And then the cool thing is, and it's not and Andrea, maybe you could explain, the generosity of this program is, if whoever sells you a Healy has to be very kind of devoted to the process, to the healing of it, and
support.
and the support first of all, not to
Well,
sell.
I want to say, first of all, in that video, you may have looked at that box and thought, oh, that's very iPhone looking. So yes, they use the designers of the iPhone box for their Healy, but that's where their commitment to the outside world stopped, because Amazon looked at the Healy and wanted it. Google looked at it and wanted to be their platform. And they said, absolutely not. We are not going anywhere near these kinds of people. We want to have complete control so that we can get it directly into the hands of the people. One of the founders was a monk for 10 years. These people who we see in our corporate Healy world are very spiritual people. So that then trickles down to all of us and everybody who mentors us. What I would like to do is just, I have a little list here, just a little bulleted list, to give you an idea of what the Healy can do for you. So a category is anti-aging. So there are some people who look to it and say, I want to improve my skin elasticity. I want it for my hair, my nails, and that kind of thing. Another one is detoxification. And all the programs always start with detoxing the organs and supporting the immune system. For some people, they're using it for acute and chronic pain, for headaches, arthritis, muscle soreness, back pain. Some people are using it for the health of their brain, to increase mental balance, anxiety, depression. Some are using it for protection from this ever-growing field of radiation that we live and have our beings in, these EMFs and 5G. They have put in programs for that. It improves the body's resources for eliminating the pathogens, the bacteria, the virus, and sleep disorders, fatigue, fitness. People are using it for body toning, for energy, for enhancing their performance, for cognition. We're using it with children who have disabilities in learning, concentration, enhancing memory and focus. Animals are showing a great affinity with the Healy. Everybody who has a Healy who has an animal is using it with them, not with the electrodes, but just by frequency, as Deborah was talking about. The animals are so sensitive to energy. A lot of them are really having great benefits with it. So children and animals, you don't have to use the electrodes because you're thinking, you know, how am I going to keep a child on the electrodes? You don't need to, because the frequency that's projected is very powerful. I'll give you an example. Barbara was saying she got up at 4 in the morning. Well, one night I was up from 1 to 4 in the morning and I couldn't get back to sleep. And I thought, I have a device here. Why aren't I using this? So I did a scan with the resonance that Deborah was talking about, because while I could go into the page that says sleep program, maybe my sleep in that moment was caused by mental issues or physical issues or pain or liver or gallbladder, who knows what. So instead of relying on a program that's a established program, I went into the scan and I scanned myself, which only takes seconds, and it came up with programs to help me sleep. So what I was able to do is set a time for a minute or half hour, or hours. I set it for 4 hours, and it scanned these sleep programs for me. Fell fast asleep and slept till 9 in the morning, which is unheard of for me. So it really helped to balance my body so it could enjoy a more restful sleep. Terry had a question. When can we begin using it, and is there a healing crisis? So everybody is recommended when they started. You saw in that video systemic programs. That is the gold cycle, the Nino's gold cycle. So there are several programs in the gold cycle, but the 3 that are recommended to begin with are pure, balance, and release. It will run you a little under 3 hours to do that. You could do one right after the other. You could do one now, one later, when you go to sleep, however you want to do it. I do them, set my timer, and then when the timer goes off, I know to do the next one. But pure balance release is going to help detox your body in a good way, not a catastrophic way, and get your cells ready for more frequencies. Now, some people will have some detox reaction to that. If you know you're very sensitive, then it allows you to adjust the frequency starting at 15%. So just start at 15%. Some people go to 20, 30, 40, 50%. You know by your response if it's too strong for you, back off. Now for me, I did 3 days on pure balance release. And on the 4th day, instead of struggling to do a 1.5 mile walk, I was now energetic and doing 4 and 5 mile walks and not coming home tired. But the next week on the same program, I had a half a day crash where I didn't feel like getting out of bed and I was tired. And that was my body's way of detoxing. By noon, it was done and I just kept moving on. So it's something that you can really adjust for yourself. Now, Deborah, talk about your experience when you first started with it.
Oh my goodness. When I first got the Healy, the very day I got it, I had a terrible lower back problem, and it's chronic. It comes and goes when I'm in stress mode or something like that. And here comes the Healy knocking on the door, and I waited 1 hour. I think I might have charged it up for about an hour. I was supposed to charge it up longer. And before I even started doing the gold programs, I started to look for the pain program. And I took the 2 sticky pads, put them right on my lower back, and I used the pain program, which was about 50 minutes long. And when it was over, so I was getting these frequencies directly to the skin, and the pain went away. It went away the same day I used the Healy. And this is a pain that I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand. I'm trying to work at the computer and I had to stand up. It was nuts. And it went away in the same day. That already got me focused. And then I started to, went back to the gold programs and I did the pure balance and release. And by doing that, I felt something shifting. And this is the thing about the Healy. You know, people are constantly going to say, well, you know, can I, you know, let me use it and how fast is it going to work? I mean, every person is individual. Some are more sensitive than others. You may not get that immediate reaction to it. What you will start to see is a shift. My energy, I started walking 6 and 8 miles a day, and I couldn't understand, it wasn't registering to me that I had been on Healy. In the meantime, you know, 6 months ago, with everything that we've been all dealing with, that really was having an effect on me. My depression started to lift, and you know, there's just these small, subtle things that you are going to see happen. You may not have something that is a very apparent something that you want to try to focus on and fix. This is a life-giving, life-changing type of investment that will last with you beyond the days. It is, you know, you're getting information that is coming in digitally. So the one piece of equipment, this tiny little device that looks like it's nothing and it's featherweight, is the most powerful little device you could possibly invest in for your life, for your, you know, for your health, for what you see in the future. Because while you're using it, you're sharing those frequencies. So, you know, no matter how it's being used, we are all headed in a positive zone by using it.
She likes it. You think she likes it?
And they say you get addicted to this, right? Not in a bad way.
And this is not her thing,
No.
usually. She was, you know, Andrea and I were into all these things, and Deb would kind of roll her eyes. She's very excited.
But you know, so each of us is going to find, how will this serve me? And believe me, everyone has a specific road that they're looking at. They need some support with, whether it be emotional, physical, or spiritual. And you're going to find that there are going to be answers all within this. And like I say, I'm constantly saying now, I'm in a masterclass that will be a constant learning, but in a good way. And I'm hungry for all this knowledge. And they keep helping us understand there's more to come. There's more to learn. And then we're able to control it from our own house. You know, I find that to be the most liberating sense of, you know, of why this makes so much sense to me. So,
and again, I think that the most important thing for all of us is to be independent, to have something, whether it's our meditation, our exercise, or a device like the Healy, where we can feel that we can tune in and figure out what might work for us. Now, I don't feel, and again, I've received a lot of calls from people, can you help me? And I say, really, like, I love you, but it takes so much time for Andrea, Deb, and I to work with people that you have to kind of find.
They were from the outside.
Well, for that, they had other people that just were into selling it. Now, when I say selling it, we're into it because we think it's really great and it's a community. What happens is, once you buy it and you're really turned on, the way they have organized this company is so generous that when you sell it, you basically, whatever money it is, you make it back extremely quickly, and then some, because the model is for that kind of generous kind of sharing.
It's a sharing.
It's just,
yeah.
it just happens very, very easily. But you have to come at it for the right reason, not just to want to, and there are a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that see it as a means to an end financially, but it's much more than that. And there are so many teachers out there that we have connected with that have taken this device, and again, not things that they're even allowed to advertise, but that we found out where it can just reach levels that are pretty amazing, because everything is energy, everything is frequency, and that's how this works. But a lot of times I've had to call Andrea and Deb because I was a latecomer, and without their guidance, I would have been a little stumped.
There will always be questions, and I'm open to hearing every one of them, because if I don't know the answer, if, you know, Andrea doesn't know the answer, which is almost unbelievable because Andrea knows everything, but we have an upline that is so supportive and so amazing that there's no question that's too redundant or too small. Every question is important. So even like right now, it wouldn't be a bad idea to hear what questions you might have.
There's a lot of questions out there.
All
One
right.
question was, how soon after you start can you add programs onto the Gold program? And correct me if I'm wrong, Andrea, you do it for 3 days, pure balance release throughout your day. And then after the 3rd day, while you continue to do the Gold for 2 weeks, because it kind of sets up your cells for that to receive the frequencies, you can then add on additional programs.
Yes, so I think it's very individualized. There are some of my clients, depending upon what state they've come to me in, who can say, yeah, 3 days, do those Gold programs and then add a program, after that. But there's some people who just need to be detoxing for 2 to 4 weeks before they start anything else, because whatever you're feeling in terms of symptoms isn't necessarily that particular area of your body that's wrong. There may be other things. It may be your intestines. It may be your liver. It could be your connective tissue. There's a lot of things.
Find out through
when
the analysis. It helps you get to that point, right? I mean, if you're
Yes, but I think that people should start by doing those 3 programs first for a week or 2, and then you can start to add in other things. At most, they say 5 to 7 programs. Let me tell you my story. I've had a lot of little interesting, wonderful things happen with the Healy, but the one that for me is so remarkable is this. I have shoulder pain. I've developed in the past months, very debilitating shoulder pain. Remember, we're not using diagnoses, but I did go to several osteopath, what are they called? I don't even want to know what they're called. Osteo doctors. What are they called, guys?
Osteopaths?
No, not osteopaths.
the orthopedic doctor.
Orthopedic, thank you. Orthopedic doctors. I've been to about 5 who all concurred that I needed to have 2 shoulder replacements. Now that's pretty far out, and I'm not doing that. So, of course, I've tried everything else. I'm not a drug person, so I don't try drugs, but herbs and supplements and all of that. And nothing was making a difference, and it was only getting worse. It got worse to the point where I couldn't hold a fork. It was pain all the time, and sleeping was very difficult. So I don't normally talk to you about subscriptions connected to the Healy, because I feel like just get your Healy. But there happens to be a subscription for $35 a month that's called the Heal Advisor, where you can type in any illness, and all the people in Europe who have dealt with it with their time waiver will now send you back a list of all the programs you should be running for that illness. I mean, that's amazing. So any illness you type in, you'll be told what programs are good for you to use, which is great. So I got that information, and I got the programs to use. And first I did my Pure Balance release for 2 weeks, and then I started to add in this schedule of programs, and it's I think 12 different programs. So I plotted it out on a calendar, and now every day I do 5 programs every day. Well, after the 3rd day, all my shoulder pain was gone. I mean, gone. Now, I don't have full range by any means, because I'm bone on bone, but I have more range than I did before. Every day it's getting a little better. And my goal is to be able to get gel shots next month and be in much better condition for my body to receive those. Now, for me to tell you that I'm out of pain after months and months and months of shoulder pain intense, that's amazing. And that's the Healy. Only the Healy did that.
So there's a question from Teresa. Does it have a program to reverse environmental allergies? And the answer is yes. It might not be one program. It might be 2 or 3 programs that have to address the different systems in your body, along with what comes up on the resonance, which might point us to what allergies. As a matter of fact, we received something from there where where the Healy told her she was dehydrated. She said that was, what app did, I didn't even know, what app told you that you were dehydrated there? Was it Resonance? Maybe I think she's getting some water. Okay, so,
You definitely need to drink water. Hydration is very important with the
is there Lara's on the call? Lara, can you hear me? Lara? So Lara said, hi there. You said you're running the circulation program. Obviously you have a healing and you can feel it like crazy. Can you share?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm an energy healer and I'm very super sensitive, and it's just, I can feel it's like the blood is pumping and circulating through my body. I feel energy moving out my feet. I feel warm, tingling sensations, and yeah, I know I have bad circulation, so yeah, it's just really.
I'd love to hear other
What
people.
programs are you doing?
It's the Healy Gold Strength, the fitness. Is that the gold?
Andrea, do you have that sheet that shows
Yeah.
all the programs? So there are so many, and you can get excited because there's like the beauty and the anti-aging. So even if like I'm feeling bad one day, I'm like, but wait, I want to do the skin. Like you have to just, like go slow and take it in stride. You also have to drink a lot of water. But this is, if you can imagine, this sheet here.
Well, there's 144.
And it's two sides, and it's everything. It's just everything from the gold cycle, which is a big detox cycle, and pain and learning and fitness. And then there's all the categories underneath it. So, and this company is committed to adding on more frequencies and more programs all the time. So this is not just this is not limited, because this is going to a cloud, a private cloud. Andrea, did you mention that about their private medical cloud?
Yeah, so every quarter they're spending 1.5 million to keep this medical cloud that they have patents on private. So no one's invading it. And I wanted to say, when you were talking about allergies, remember your body has an allergic response to a histamine or an environmental allergy or food or whatever, because something in your body is not dealing with it well. Could be your liver. That's why you start with the three gold programs to begin with. That already starts the body to receive frequencies better and to deal with the environment better. Then there are actually programs in there that specifically are for different forms of food sensitivities, environmental allergies, and all of that.
But again, what I love about it is that we are committed to doing these calls, I think at least once a week or whatever, whatever. It's kind of fun. It's fun to share what we're learning, what we're doing, how we can use it, how we can be empowered, and have conversations based on that as well. So that's why
If someone was asking if we were interested, do we buy it from you guys? Do you buy it from me? I'm supporting Barbara and Deb in their business that they have set up called Healing in the Field. So yes, buy it from them. And then it moves up the chain.
And because we'll be able to support from beginning to end, while Andrea is completely overwhelmed with so much going on.
And Deb I am very good we're a good partnership, because what I know kind of complements what Deb, and Deb is great in the back room, and again, when you get it, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? It's pretty easy, but you really need someone who's patient and who can kind of walk you through it.
Deb's that person.
She really is. It's not
there is an app called Telegram, and you can just download it to your phone, and within that app Telegram there is a link called Frequency Genius. And people who mentor us keep putting the information into Frequency Genius every day. When's the next Zoom? What's it about? Or here's some interesting information. Now I have on my team, all the emails of people who have purchased from me, and I send all that information out to them, and then they share it. So we're always all sharing information, but you can also access information on your own.
Thayer,
That's what this ATP is about. That's what the frequency genius is about. So you're never in the dark. Like if you can't reach us, don't worry about it. There's a lot of ways for you to access information.
Even Facebook. It's grown so much now, where when we first looked at it, there was hardly any information out there. It was only coming from Germany and Australia. Now that everybody has Healys, they're able to experience it and be able to share all of that with us on links. And there's several Facebook pages that would just show testimonials that are coming to you in real time from people that are using it here in the States. And that's really important because we are so complicated as human beings. And so there are all these different, reasons why people are reaching out for the Healy. And so you get to see how they're able to solve their issues, and then they share that with everybody. What programs that they found were the ones that were so effective, and be able to support everybody else. And that's what I love, that everybody's so open with sharing.
Andrea, can you talk about the so you don't have to, I jumped in and I wanted both, but you don't have to do that. There are ways to, right? Can you talk about the different levels?
Yes. So there's 4 levels. It starts at $500. The first level is called the Gold Edition, and it has all the gold programs and some pain programs. And the next edition is Holistic Health, and then there's Holistic Health Plus, and then there's Resonance. So the difference is that each one has more programs than the next. The only difference between the Holistic Health Plus, which is, I think, Deb, 1,500,
Yeah.
and the Resonance, which is 2,500, they have the exact same programs and number of programs, except that the Resonance has a whole other app to it where you can scan in real time, do remote work, and work with it without the electrodes. So that's why we all go for the Resonance, because it has so much more to offer. But you can do great things with any one of the Gold, the Holistic Health, or the Holistic Health Plus.
So you can do it incrementally, but it's nice to have the options of the Resonance.
Yeah, and if you get one later on, if you want to upgrade, you always can.
Right, so you could start less and you could upgrade, or if you find people that you like that you sell it, they automatically upgrade you. It's a very generous company. It feels really good, and the technology is amazing. It's fun. I take it with me. I actually get so excited I broke Andrea's clip, but nevertheless.
Would anybody like to speak?
Any questions? So do you want them talk? So please ask your questions or share. Thayer, are you there? Can you hear us? Because you said that you're doing the detox program now. You want to talk about it a bit? So Terry, you said if we don't know what we need, can we do a daily?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
Go ahead there. Where'd she go?
Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah, we hear you.
hello?
Hi, yes, we can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Oh, hi, this is Thayer. Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry, I'm not on video. I'm so sorry. Yes, so I've been doing it. I'm on, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello?
We hear you.
There, we hear you, honey.
I don't know if you could, okay, you can. So I've been doing the detox. Okay, great. Okay, I've been doing the detox. This is going on the 2nd week. And what I like about it the best is that it's telling me that I'm dehydrated. I keep drinking lots and lots of water because I don't normally drink water. So it's making me drink water, and I'm also realizing that I'm, of course, going to the bathroom more, and I overall feel so much better. There are days that I can tell the detox is really working because then I'm kind of tired, more tired than I normally am.
Yes.
But I still feel that I can see like my nails have changed some, which seem.
Oh, that's funny you said that. So have mine. I didn't even equate that
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. Mine got so long and strong.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
so weird.
And I have a feeling my hair is growing because of it too, by the way.
So just there is a detox program that there's doing, which is mandatory. And that program is clearing your cells. It's working on the ATP, it's energizing them. It's a detox program, but not in the typical form of detox. It's the Healy detox. And so the pure cycle is what you start
Right.
with, and helps your body's energy field to recover from environmental factors, which you talked about, Teresa. And then balance is the systems to get in balance, bioenergetic balance, and good for the body's whole energy field. And then the release I love is it's pain reduction, but it works again to release and on a lot of levels. So there's just so many different levels, and there are, you know,
Tell them how much you like being
oh, there's a program called Being that Andrea
in the gold
put
cycle.
me on in the gold cycle, and basically you remain centered. I feel good when I do it. And
It
again,
felt like a cloak was lifted.
I did, and there are, you know, practitioners that can douse for what you need. You can self-douse, but there's still a protocol that Healy wants you to use when you start,
Right.
and you should use.
I
Andrea-
do that with some of my clients who have gotten into it. Then I can test them to say, okay, this is how many days you do this, and now we bring in these programs, and we can really individualize it. I would like to tell you guys about something else. When I first heard about this with the Healy, I kind of closed off to it, but as time went on, I wanted to hear more, and so I learned more I want to share with you. So there is another aspect. Remember I said there are subscriptions to Healy. I'm not here to sell you a subscription. I want to tell you about this though, because I haven't done it yet. There is a monthly subscription called the DNA, Digital Nutrition App. And in that app, it has pages and pages and pages and pages of minerals and vitamins and essential fatty acids and you name it, whatever pill you would pop, it's got the pages of frequencies for it. So I thought to myself at first, yeah, really? You're going to stop taking the pills? You're going to take this by frequency? And then I remembered a client of mine a few years ago came to me, a very healthy man who just didn't sleep. For years and years, most of his adult life, he doesn't sleep. Just, you know, in tiny bits. And of course, he's done the whole drug route, he's done the herb route, the melatonin route, you name it. So I happen to have this vibrational remedy called ZZZ. And all it contains is the frequency of tryptophan. Now he said, I've tried tryptophan. I said, well, this is a different delivery system. Why don't you try it? Now the guy buys bottles at a time. He said he had never slept before, and now he sleeps like a baby with this ZZZ. So when I heard about the digital nutrition app, I thought, wait a minute, I do know that works, because you see, he wasn't absorbing it through his digestive system. How much of what we take do we know we absorb because of our digestive system? So if you're getting it by frequency, your cells are absorbing it directly without interference. So I haven't done it yet because, you know, it sounds like a lot of money, but I've spent well over $100 a month, I can assure you, on supplements. And the next $1,000 that I just bought, I'm going to go through all of that. And probably by the end of the year, I'll be ready to take on the subscription and stop opening up all these capsules and swallowing and all of that.
Andrea, what about that other subscription to the experts in Germany?
Yes, that's the $35 a month Heal Advisor, it's called. And that's where at any time you can type in whatever disease and they will spit back a whole program to you. It's really quite extraordinary.
To do that, Deb and I have it, and you know, well, whatever, you could, I guess you work it out. So again, there's so many options, but I think it's always good to start slow. At least for me, it was, because I don't want to be overwhelmed. And by starting slow, you build, you know, it's like little by little, and it starts to become just you know, I wake up in the morning, it's like my new best friend, like I take it with me, I really do. do you think it could increase bone density? That's actually a really good question that I don't know the answer to.
Andrew, did we ever have that question before?
I don't know.
About
But I
bone
would
density?
imagine if it's delivering,
I'm
if it's
writing it down.
opening up certain, we're gonna check this out, Teresa.
It's
But if it's
increasing
opening
your
up
ATP,
pathways,
which is the energy of your cells, by 500%. It's increasing your ability to absorb amino acids by some astronomical amount. And it's increasing the ability of your mitochondria to function so much better. So
and it's also, and it's releasing blockages to absorption. So if there are things that are blocking it because certain systems are not working to assimilate, that it's going to help you also.
Does it work directly on the what is it, adenine triphosphate, ATP? Does it work directly on the mitochondria right there?
It goes right to the heart of the mitochondria.
So that's why you have ATP 1, 2, 3 on the app?
Yeah.
So it works directly with the ATP?
It does work with the ATP. I mean, that's the powerhouse of the cell.
I know what it is. Yeah, that's why I was asking. I know
Yeah.
what it is.
It does.
That's the whole model. In fact, Andrew, do you have that you have it in your slides that I think I just saw? A picture of the cell?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have it
the
right here.
powerhouse. Yeah.
Let me share screen just a second and go there. There. Okay, so this is a PowerPoint presentation on the Healy. I'll just go quickly through that to get to what you're talking about.
And I do have a question about the upgrades. If you got the 500, do you get a new device when you upgrade, or does it just upgrade the cell? Okay, that's what I need. It's just same device. Okay.
Same device, right. Here it is. Is that what you're talking about, Deborah?
Well, I'm not seeing anything.
I shared my screen. You don't see it?
No.
Okay, let's do that again.
Someone asked if you purchase the Healy and decide you want the resonance, can you upgrade? So yes, you can. You just upgrade and pay the difference. And, or if you sell them, you automatically get upgraded.
That's it. Okay. Yes. So now you could show it. This diagram is going to show you a healthy cell, which is at the bottom with that green circle at a young, healthy cell level, and what happens as we age. You know, and it could be inflammation, it could be trauma, it could be, you know, medical reasons why your cell starts to deteriorate. And the Healy is meant to heal these cells with the frequencies that
so it will enable your body to absorb the frequencies that it needs to keep the cells healthier. Here is where it's saying it increases ATP up 500%, increases protein synthesis, amino acid transport. There's your amino acids, building blocks for protein synthesis. So for bones, great for bones. This one really impressed me.
I love that.
Look at this slide. So the left slide shows you that the cells are in what they call rouleau, where they're stacked like a stack of dimes. And that's not healthy because they're not, what?
You can't see the whole slide, at least you can't see the after. It's like half.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
So when the cells are clumped together, then they're not getting good oxygen. They should be floating free form. And as you can see, after just 1 hour on the Healy, they took another blood cell, live blood cell, and did the analysis. And you can see the free floating platelets and increase in white blood cells as well. So that's a great thing to be able to do for your bloodstream.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here are the, here, let me move that over. So that's the Healy Gold. That's the first one with its programs and the cost. And here's the holistic health. And then it has 8 more programs, which you can see.
So what it's saying here is that you get what you have in the gold edition programs, but then they also add 8 more programs. And understand that with each program, within that program are several different categories. So you are getting about 90 different programs, usable programs in the first level. And then the Healy Holistic Health, you're getting an additional 8 more programs, and what comes with that, with the meridians, the mental balance, the bioenergetic balance 102, it's amazing. And then when you get the Healy Holistic Health Plus, you're getting 144 programs.
So, you know, if it's in order to help someone decide what do they need, so you can see it right there. If you're someone who's satisfied with what's in Healy Holistic Health, that's great. But if you see in the Health Plus, there's a learning program and that's what you need, or you want to go into the protection programs or into the beauty, then you need to go to the Plus.
And what the learning program would mean is that they're looking at memory, they're looking at concentration, they're looking at stress, systemic and acute. It really is quite amazing.
And we use that one with children a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you want to go to the resonance, you'll have everything that's in the Plus, plus the ability to scan in real time. One of the advantages of that I found was, let's say you have a headache. There's a program there for pain in the head area. You can run that. But maybe that day when you scan yourself, your headache has to do with tension or anxiety or emotions or clogged gallbladder. Then you know from the scan in real time what to be running.
Like,
That's why I like that one.
like today, when Deb came over, I felt a little better. I ran some programs, but when we did the resonance, it showed I received the frequency of selenium, L-taurine, L-arginine, and I also did a Bach flower remedy resonance scan.
Her whole color changed. Because when I first came in, I could see she looked tired, she looked run down, and she looked a bit ashy.
If I beg your pardon.
Well, you kind of did.
All right.
And you know,
all right.
but you know, it was pretty amazing to watch that in real time, to see that. I mean, she's so sensitive anyway, so for her to get remote healing frequencies, it was really interesting to watch that, because I've not seen that myself. So that was very cool.
I've done remote sessions with clients, you know, over the phone, so they're not near me. And I must say, especially for the emotional issues, like scanning someone on the Bach flower remedies or the chakras, and the explanations that come up are so wow the people about, you know, how it applies to what's going on in their life. So then we can actually in real time send those frequencies. I have Bach flower remedies here. I've always done Bach flower formulas. Then we can even make up the formula in physical matter to support that ongoing. There's amazing things.
Go back to the gallery.
Stop share.
I have a question. If you don't have the resonance, how do you know which programs to run?
Well,
So-
there's basic programs.
So first you start with your gold cycle.
All right.
And then you have this whole sheet of programs that you look at and you say, this is what resonates with me. I have issues about this. This is what I run. It's very intuitive because there's great descriptions there for everything.
Okay. Okay. Sounds a
So
little,
once again, this is only working on the cellular level, but in a quantum way. I'm still, because I'm like Miss Anatomy and Physiology science. So it's really just working on mitochondria and the cell structures, but in a quantum way, correct? Because you're talking about nerve issues and meridians and all kinds of stuff.
Well, much more, Kim. It's working on all of that and then some. It's working on the etheric. It's working on so many other levels.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not just cellular.
Oh, God, no. Absolutely
that's
not.
what-
It works on your...
Skepticism coming in like, hang on, it's all
I
cellular.
don't know, because today what I did was, I mean, this is working on actually there's programs for
These are all the
energetic
microphones,
reduction of sensitivity to interference fields, you know, geopathy, and they even have one for the planets. They have one for your chakras, the whole chakra system, if it's imbalanced. I mean, this goes big time esoteric, but also is, you know, so it's mind, body, soul, and everything around us that influences us. And that's important.
Okay, well, that clarifies that more for me. Thank you.
You are welcome, Kim.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes, Kim?
Yeah. You can only scan if you have the residence,
Yes.
Correct.
correct?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that, so like we could scan for you. So we could do that for you. And perhaps in that scan, it's going to show things that are in your basic Healy program that you would do, you know, in the Gold Cycle.
Right.
You
I
know,
definitely would like to know what is needed. Because some of them are so similar, like well-being soul, which I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
is the same as, to me, the being in the gold program.
Have you run the Gold how many days since you?
Yeah, close to 2 weeks. So that was one of my questions.
Andrea, so what would you suggest?
I've
So,
been-
and Kim, a lot of it depends.
Hi, Deb. Nice to meet you.
To see you.
A lot of it depends on how you're feeling. So let's say you've had an uptight day, hypothetically, with your family. Andrea, what would you suggest?
Well, then I would say go into the resonance and do a scan on Bach flower remedies.
No, she
because
doesn't have-
that gives you the flower essences,
No.
and the flower essences are to the emotional body what herbs are to the physical body. So I would want
Have
to,
resonance.
Right, Deb? I don't have the residence.
Doesn't have the resonance.
Right.
And what would she do in the regular Healy program?
what do you have?
I have the plus.
Okay, so let me look in the plus. So pose your question again.
So if I'm having a difficult day, for example, with my family, what program should I be running?
Okay, so I would look at mental balance. You have mental balance? I'm
Yeah.
sure in the plus. Okay. So there you see inner strength,
Yeah.
emotional well-being, feeling good, contentment. You see? There's a
Right.
lot of programs in there that would be really spot on for you.
So I'm doing well-being soul right now,
Nice. Very nice.
right? And I could change it around. But I have to ask you, my question, which I wrote down here, is that I've been using this for 2 weeks now. I haven't felt any shift, anything different. And I do energy work.
Okay, so what have you been doing for 2 weeks?
I've been doing the gold program. And because I have issues with circulation in my toes, I did a little of that. Otherwise, things like the mental, the well-being, feeling.
Okay. So the issues in your toes, does that have to do with tingling in the toes?
No,
What?
no, just I have chill glands. It's called chill glands. And of
Okay.
course, you know, I don't expect to feel better after 1 or 2 sessions. But just as a whole, I haven't felt any different.
So what I would do is, Barbara, do you have the Heal Advisor app
Yes.
I do.
where you
No,
can type
no.
in the illness?
Oh, no, I don't have, well, I'm buying it tomorrow.
Okay, so Kim, Barbara's buying it tomorrow. Then talk to Barbara, and then she can ask the Europeans what the program is specifically for that.
Okay.
Happy to do it for you, Kim.
Okay. Whenever you have a moment, you're so busy. So
No, it's fine. Deb is here now,
I'll
and
hook her up. Not a problem.
and I'm gonna sign up, and we're on it together.
perfect.
It's totally fine. Happy to do that, and I'm getting that so we could also serve our. Don't you have it?
No,
But you see, Kim, by starting the gold cycle first,
Yes.
She has it.
you may not have felt improvement there. You prepared your cells to accept the frequencies of this next level that you're going to work on.
Okay. Because sometimes I've overheard now that many of you have felt a shift, a change.
Some do, some don't.
I have not. So I guess, you know, it's.
You know what's weird,
You
Kim?
may be in better shape than us.
I don't know. It's coming up white, so that's good.
Hey, that's a big deal.
But also, it's funny, sometimes some people feel more, and sometimes it's more internal. You know, it's funny how that works.
And it's
But
also like a boiling pot. Believe me, it's only been 2 weeks.
Right.
That's not a long time.
Right. Right.
But
Okay.
I think it would be good to Well, let's do that. Let's do that
Fine.
question. And I'd like to also, can't we do the resonance on Kim?
I would have to buy the next level.
No,
We'll
no,
work
no,
with
no,
her
no,
out-
we can
no,
run
no,
it.
We'll work with you outside of this.
Do you know what? Deb is here the next 2 days. Call us.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody asked about, Susan Diaz said, can you have, Andrea, like ongoing relief from inflammation and arthritis? Inflammation, you know, I always think it's a poo-poo platter. So Andrea, what you did for your current situation was over 50% the Healy, but you also added what, certain supplements? and
But
what else?
that's why I answered. That's a hard one to answer. It depends upon how you're feeling, how you're feeding. What I meant to say is how you're feeding your body. So it depends upon what you're eating. Is that increasing inflammation? Are you doing any other supplements to decrease inflammation? Is stress a part of your inflammation? So, you know, there's many components to inflammation and what inflammation can cause. For me, it was not about doing anything else but the Healy, because everything else I tried prior to that didn't resolve my pain whatsoever. So for me, I'm still doing those 5 programs every single day, 7 days a week. Can I stop it at some point? Yeah, I suppose so, but I certainly don't want to stop it yet.
But Andrea, also, you said something important, which is, are there external stresses? And if that's the case, then there's a different program. And what is that Healy poo-poo platter along with other things to supplement it? Because there's never just, look, it works, it's really great. But like Andrea said, there's other pieces of your life that are going on that need to be addressed.
Right.
So,
Always.
Susan, you can call me anytime.
And the analysis will help us see that.
Yeah.
Like when I did the I Ching, or when I did the Bach flowers, and that was an eye opener for me. So we could definitely maybe unravel the puzzle by doing some of this analysis.
Yeah, teases it apart.
It really is quite amazing that way.
Does anybody have any other questions? Because we're here, we're happy to answer it. We'll do another call
They
in a
could
couple
also
of weeks.
email.
You can email, well, I think most of you have my email, but let me put it up.
And I say to you again, if you want to get more experience of this, there are almost daily Zooms that you can go to. Just download Telegram from the App Store and then go on Frequency Genius. And you will see that there's a lot available. Also, you can just go on YouTube and type in Healy, Zach, Z-A-C Dean. Deb and I found him early on from Australia. He does some great demonstrations and discussions of how these programs work. But I'm just gonna caution you. When I first came into this, as you guys know, I'm not an airy-fairy person. I'm pretty grounded. And when I first came into this and started to see some of these Zooms coming out of Bali and they're having chuckles and laughing, and that wasn't my thing. And I thought, oh no, these Zooms are not for me. But then I found the Zooms that are naturopaths are doing and scientists are doing. So you start to realize whose Zooms you like and whose Zooms you don't. And it's a matter of just teasing it out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the deep dive. Because you know what? Well, I don't think this is an enormous investment. It's an investment in your health and wellness. And once you get it, you want to know that you are doing the right thing for you and knowing as much as you can about it. That's how the 3 of us have felt. We want to know that as much as we can, because there's a lot to this. I mean, Marcus Schmilke, who is the founder, he has a Zoom that discusses only about the quantum physics and the blend of science and spirituality and Akashic records for the healing. And that's a whole other level of talking about it.
It's funny because a monk that I know told me he knows one of the founders who was a Hare Krishna. So
That's Marcus.
Marcus is a Hare Krishna.
Marcus.
So and apparently the guy is amazing. And Dr. Nino, that really gorgeous Italian doctor,
Nino, yeah.
well, just to look at him, watch the YouTube alone, he also happens to have very good information.
What's Marcus's last name?
SCHMIELKE. SCHMIELKE. I believe if you go on ATP123, you'll find it.
What about, what's Dr. Nino's name?
Nuno,
Nina.
Nuno Nino.
Nina, Nuno, Nina.
Yeah, he's very
And I'll tell you, a
And-
lot of these Zooms are recorded, so then you can just watch them in your own time. But there's one Zoom that happens every Sunday night. Usually it's not recorded. And it's called, her name, I don't even know her name. They call her Yoda. And Yoda comes on. Yoda used to design frequency programs for all these different quantum physics machines and would never put her name to any of them. And when the Healy came, she said, this is so head and shoulders above anything else that she was willing to do that. And she's a practitioner in Eastern medicine, and she's brilliant. I mean, she's beyond brilliant, this woman. And she talks very down to earth and salt of the earth, and talks in a way that they don't want to record her, you know? So you have to listen to that one in real time.
How do you find Zooms if you're not invited to one? I've never
I
heard.
told you, you go on Telegram.
Oh, you go on Telegram.
And then you download Frequency Genius. Deborah, is there anything in particular they have to know about that?
That one.
Well, wait a
Kim
minute.
doesn't have
With-
a Healy.
But with
She
frequency,
doesn't need it.
but
Oh.
with Frequency Genius, we would have to send her the invite.
I
Link.
see.
But
So
first
Just
download
send
the
to
link.
Kim, email them, and they'll send you the invite. Just
Exactly.
download Telegram. It's a little blue and white symbol. And then they'll send you the invite, and then you go to Frequency Genius, you pin it so it's at the top of your Telegram app, and then every day you go in there and it tells you exactly what, when, where, click in.
Oh, thank you. That's a big help. Thank you.
One day they sent out the information on Dr. Emoto's work and how it related to the Healy. And they were showing how you could, Barbara, remember we used to do that in the alkaline programs. You used to have stickers that you give everybody on their bottle of water, and they would decide, today, do I want compassion, more love, you know, whatever it was. And it's the same as Dr. Emoto's work. And you can actually structure your water with what you want from the Healy. Put Healy programs into the water. Pretty amazing.
Okay.
All right, does anyone, any other questions before we sign off? Happy to answer any questions, and really thank you for joining us. It is the other really fun part about this is the community. So Deb and I will be doing frequent Zoom presentations and individual ones as
And
well.
we'll try to condense it down to an hour.
Well, I'm sure soon you can manifest it without the Zoom. Let's be real.
Barbara, I have a question. It's Francesca. I don't know what's wrong with my video, but there's the plus and the minus. Does
Yeah.
it matter which one goes in where? Like, is there a plus and minus on these electrodes or anything?
No.
No, when you put these on, when you put the wires on, it doesn't matter. But when you place the Healy on your body, you just want the wires not to be tangled up. So your left hand usually gets ends up
We do
with
left and right.
with the negative, and the right hand usually ends up with the positive. But only because you're hanging the Healy in front of you. So you
Or
don't
you
want the
could
wires
clip
to
it
flip
on.
around.
You could clip it on, and the actual electrode
Yeah,
goes on
same
the
thing.
inside of your wrist. They have new bands that they're sending where they're extremely effective. They're amazing. They require no water or anything. So it's very, very easy to use. So I put the email up, lifebalance@gmail.com. Deb and I are here. We're really into this. And
send us your questions if you're still curious about what you may not have heard yet that might help you understand this better. Because really, the more of us that are held in these higher frequencies, the better. We'll maybe change the planet sooner rather than later.
Nice thought. On that, it's a good close.
everybody feel good.
Thank you guys for joining us. Thank
Everybody.
you so much. Thank you. And pass it on. Share.
Thank
You know,
you.
I always say it's a blessing to share and to help one another.
Beach Boys, good vibrations, right?
Oh, yeah.
Andrea, thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you guys
Bye.
for coming on.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye, everybody.
Will we be able to see what their questions are?
Well, what happens when I'm trying to just, how do I stop the recording?